Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back for another episode of the TWC Show. A couple away from 100. And hopefully we'll get Devin back up for that one. But we got lots to talk about today. But first things first, I just want to let everyone know, especially our Patreon subscribers, our patrons, as we're supposed to call them. We dropped another Patreon exclusive episode. Robbie dropped some exclusive news of new figures coming out that haven't been released, this news, anywhere else. Like, no one else knows about these figures coming out unless you're, I don't know, subscribe to some other figure podcast or whatever. But if you're a figure collector and you want to know what's coming out for the upcoming defining, I think they were Ultimate Series and the Elite 90s, we got the list of figures coming out soon, and you guys will be excited to hear what figures are coming out soon. And you guys get discounts on figures if you are one of our Patreon subscribers. You can subscribe as low as $2 at www.patreon.com/The Wrestling Classic. The link is in my bio on Instagram. And welcome to the show. What's going on, Daniel?
Nothing much. Thank you for having me. I feel like people are sick of hearing my voice like every week because I'm like,
I mean, if they're sick of hearing your voice every week, then they're definitely sick of hearing my voice every week.
But you're the Wrestling Classic. I'm like, I'm just here. You're like,
let's we got lots to talk about, so let's kick off with. Well, we were just talking about it off the air. It's rumored that Edge is returning at Summerslam. How do you feel about that?
I know you don't care that much,
Okay, so we were talking about it. I do care about Edge. I'm an Edge fan. I grew up an Edge fan.
Yeah.
We were just briefly talking about how I told you I was an Edge fan since the Edge and Christian days, up until he did the stuff with Vicky and he was just on Smackdown, mainly because I wasn't watching Smackdown, and I actually used to find Vicky Guerrero really fucking annoying. But that being said, when he got drafted back to Raw, you said around, I think it was 2009-10.
2010.
Orton.
Yeah. And he did the thing with Nexus too, remember?
I liked him then too. And then I think anytime he went back to SmackDown, I just kind of wasn't watching, so I didn't know what he was doing. But okay, so his entire run back. Obviously, when he first came back to the Rumble, I was hyped. I popped. I was mark out moment for
2010 or 2020.
2020, I'm talking
about.
Oh,
okay, cool.
And 2010 time too, I was hyped too. I still liked Edge. I just think everything he did in 2021 made me just not like him that much anymore. Like the whole just walking around backstage, winning the Rumble. I think the main event kind of unpredictable, which was fun. But if Edge never came back, I wouldn't care. Is my point.
I guess, but I think it's because I think you said this on the fucking show a couple months ago. You were like, I just don't care about the fairy tale storyline anymore. His comeback story.
Well,
you don't care about his comeback story.
He did the shit with Orton. That was cool. Right? Then the Mania match and the match after WrestleMania, the greatest match ever. And then he got hurt, unfortunately. Like, that was cool. As much as I want to see Edge work with the younger talent, we kind of got that with him work with Bryan and Roman, kind of dream scenario. He won a Rumble. He main evented WrestleMania. What else is left for him to do? Okay, he can feud Rollins. He can feud someone else. But we're going to fall into a situation that is very similar to Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio. Jeff Hardy's out there saying, "Oh, I'm going to retire right now if I don't win," and we're supposed to care when it's like we barely seen this guy on TV for the past year.
No, I agree.
And then you have Rey Mysterio in the Hell in the Cell with Roman Reigns. Like, cool, but nobody. And I think they even realized it. I don't know if they moved the Hell in the Cell match to Friday for ratings or to promote the Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
But I think everyone knew Ray wasn't going to beat Roman in the Cell.
I think I was the only one who wanted Ray to win. Like, I will never hate on Rey Mysterio. I tweeted this during SmackDown.
No, you're not the only one that wanted to win. I think if he won, that would have been a cool swerve. Yeah. I just think, because we're old school fans, right? Like, you feel that way because you grew up watching Ray.
100%.
I do too. But I'm also come to a point where I realize, like, these guys aren't going to be or ever reach the level of success that they had in the days they were the top guys.
They're prime.
Edge, Jeff, Ray, and either we got to start being okay with seeing them lose all the time and being used kind of as guys to put over younger guys, or it's because it's hard to see Jeff. Because I think if I look at Jeff, I look at Ray. I'm like, if they were anywhere else in any other company, they'd be the top guy over there. Here they get used in the middle of the card. Ray's in the main event, don't get me wrong, but no, like, even if Ray's in the main event, it almost feels like it shouldn't have been Ray and it should have been Dominic, because that's who you're trying to get over here. That's the only reason Ray's still around, isn't it? Because of Dominic?
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think at the end of the day, it's just he's there because of his son.
All a nostalgia act. They're all nostalgia act. That's all they are.
I hate to admit it, but you're right. Yeah, like, I feel like, as big of a Jeff fan I am, like, he's kind of a nostalgia act now. But I hope
when Shawn retired in 2010. I know everyone's like, "Oh, he could have still won and he could have fought." It was the best time for him to retire. He retired on top.
It was
He
that
was the
too.
Undertaker and retired on top.
It was that too, and it goes back to the Steve Austin retirement. He retired on top as well. You know what I mean? People were like, "Oh, he should have came out of retirement and fight Punk." And, well, maybe, but at the same time, I was like,
I'm okay if people come back. Rock's the smartest too. He kicked it, but when he comes back, it matters, and then he leaves again. If you're gonna stay full time, like Ray and Jeff Hardy,
I think I'll say
on
Batista
a week to week basis,
I'd say Batista. I feel Batista with The Rock.
Well, no, yeah, well, Batista still I still consider that the next generation. Batista, Cena, Orton. I'm talking
okay.
Edge, Rey Mysterio,
Era,
and Jeff Hardy have been here since like 1998. They've been wrestling 1997, and that's just like on mainstream television. All these guys might have been wrestling since like 1994, 93. Like they've been wrestling forever.
Mm-hmm.
I still give like Randy Orton and Batista and Cena like the kind of like leeway because they're still relevant to a generation that is still watching consistently.
Yeah,
the other guys are from fans that might have. Some of their fans might have been lapsed fans that don't even watch anymore.
That's true. Yeah,
and they were the legends. If they were the legends in your guys' childhood, what are they now? Like super legends, like grandfather legends? Like
yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I'm just like I see Ray. I'm like, oh, like that's so cool to see him, but at the same time, it's like he's not in his prime anymore, but he can still go. But it's
he can go. They can all still go. It's not that. It's just it's not the same. And all of them would be doing better if we saw them less.
No,
and if Jeff only came back for like big feuds, if Jeff came back to come after Bobby for like a one paper, like that would have been a big deal. If Ray wasn't on TV every week and tag team champions with this kid right now coming to face Roman Reigns, it probably would have felt like a bigger deal.
I forgot he's still the tag team champion.
Edge is gonna feel like a big deal because he fucked off for a bit after WrestleMania. Whoever he feuds, my thing with Edge now, going back to what we started this whole conversation about, is just that I just didn't like the way he's been booked in 2021. I didn't like the way that he's been pushed to the top like that. It did create some unpredictability for WrestleMania. That match was really fun because I did not want Edge to win. But that all being said, it's not 2010 anymore. I
still find that match really weird to look at. Just like the graphic of it, I'm like, what the fuck? Like Edge, Bryan, and Roman, like it's so fucking random.
But let's talk about cool. How'd you feel about Roman versus Ray in the Cell?
Really good. I was surprised that she pulled the trigger on the actual match. I thought it was just going to be like a cop out for a Sunday, but it was a good match. I really enjoyed the drama and seeing Roman just throw Ray outside of the ring, like into the cell, was pretty fucking cool.
They kept saying it was the first Hell in the Cell match on network television. I don't know. I'm not from America, but I don't know if USA is not like network television and Fox is, but it's not the first Hell in the Cell match on network television. It's the first Hell in the Cell match on Smackdown, but on Raw they've had two previous Hell in the Cell matches in '98. There was Kane versus Mankind, then there was also Kane and Mankind versus Austin and The Undertaker. Those are considered actual matches. So those are probably the first ones on network television.
I think for SmackDown they were trying to just like push it.
I think they're trying to push it because it's been so long. Vince like, nobody remembers that. This is the first one. Let's make it feel huge. Colossus. He loves the word Colossus, supposedly.
Does he?
WrestleMania was supposed to be like Colossus something. Colossus Collision or something. He wanted to name it.
That sounds so WCW-esque, I think.
Nah, WWE in the 80s, Colossus Collision. It makes sense.
Jesus.
Let's just jump right into it really quickly and just get these out of the way because now the card has changed for Hell in the Cell, which is on Sunday. Now that we've had Roman and Ray on SmackDown, which I wonder if Roman asked for that off so he could be home for Father's Day.
Oh, you think so?
I don't know, man. It shows how much stroke Roman has if that's the case.
Well, good on him. Fuck, if he wants to do it, but
my other argument about Hell in the Cell is that they put the wrong matches in the cell.
I agree. I think Rhea. We'll get to it, but yeah, I agree.
Like, for example, first match that's I'm going backwards from Wikipedia to the top to make our predictions, but the one that is match number 6 is Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Personally, the way this feud's been, the way that Seth attacked Cesaro after his match with Roman, wouldn't this be in the cell?
That's what I thought too, but they're like, no, it's a normal match, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's pretty weird.
Like, these two have like a more personal competitive rivalry that should be in the cell, right?
No, I agree, 100%.
Kevin, who are you predicting? My bad.
Probably Seth, because I feel like he hasn't like won a match in a while.
So
and then they're gonna have a rubber match after.
Yeah, because Cesaro went over at
Mania.
Yeah, But they had matches before on SmackDown and stuff. I just don't remember.
That's the thing. People don't remember, like you and I. So I feel like Seth's gonna go here, then it's 1-1, I guess, and then the rubber match, and this is Owens a feud.
A SummerSlam, right? Well, there's Money in the Bank in the middle.
I feel like this is kind of off topic, but I feel like Edge is gonna interfere, not at Hell in a Cell particularly, but like in a match with Seth, and then we're gonna get Seth and Edge at SummerSlam. That's my prediction for the long term.
I'm gonna go with Seth too here. He hasn't
won a match in a while, dude. It's been a while.
I don't know if it's gonna be clean, but I'm gonna say Seth wins. And Cesaro keeps getting the upper hand on Seth, even on the go home show, which is the old traditional way of seeing who is really gonna go over. KO versus Sami Zayn. This feud is also continuing from prior to WrestleMania, and I wouldn't necessarily say this match needed to be in the cell, but if it was, these guys have been feuding forever.
No, it would have been cool, man, because Kevin Owens is fucking Kevin Owens. He would have jumped off that fucking cell if he wanted to.
And these guys have been feuding forever, like it's like years.
Literally,
friends and not friends, and like
7 something, yeah.
So I for this, I'm gonna go with. You know what, man? I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens. I'm just gonna
I'm going with Sami Zayn. I
was gonna say Sami Zayn for a second there, but I'm like, no.
He's gonna do something like to outsmart Kevin, man. It's the cell. I don't know. Kevin's gonna oh wait, it's not the cell. Fuck. Yeah. Fuck.
I'm gonna go with
maybe
KO
Owens. Maybe Owens. If it was a cell, maybe Zayn. But since it's not,
Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler.
This won't be a match, and I'll tell you why. They're gonna do some segment, some fucking voodoo segment,
or Alexa Bliss stands tall at the end.
Something, yeah. So I'm gonna go with Alexa here.
Bianca Belair versus Bayley inside of Hell in a Cell. Listen, okay, I understand these women have feuded since Bianca's been on the main roster, and then Bianca went and faced Sasha, and then now it's come back to Bayley. I just don't think this is cell worthy. I just don't. I think they've just been laughing at each other. The storyline hasn't been that personal. I know they're trying to make it feel personal, but it doesn't feel personal. It doesn't. I'm sorry. It just does not feel personal. Sasha and Bianca felt more of a big match feel than Bayley and Bianca, and I just don't think this needed to be in the cell. I thought the other women's championship match between Rhea and Charlotte should have been the cell.
No, I agree.
This is Bayley's second cell match. This is her first ever women's cell match without Sasha. She's been in all of them up until now. All the 4 horsewomen have won a cell match: Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte. Bayley's never won one, so that's why some people are like, "Oh, Bayley's gonna win." So then all the 4 horsemen. I don't care about that shit, and I think mainly because it's Bayley, and I'm not Bayley's my least favorite 4 horsewomen.
I disagree with that, but
it's Charlotte. It's Sasha. Whoa, it's Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, Bayley.
You got something to tell me?
No, it's always Sasha first. I think the Bianca reign hasn't hit the way that we thought it was going to hit. I remember saying it's sink or swim for her. She can have this reign, and she can kill it, or she can have this reign, and we can actually see that maybe it was too soon. I'm starting to lean towards a maybe it feels like it was too soon thing, because I feel like we barely see her wrestle. She comes out there, talks every week. Someone's like, "Oh, she did wrestle against Carmella." I'm like, "Well, that had to be like 3-4 weeks ago, because Carmella and Liv were fighting each other for the last 2 weeks." So so the last time she wrestled, I want to see Bianca wrestle. That's her strong suit. Her looking strong and powerful in the ring is what backs up what she says on the mic. If she's just talking on the mic all the time, I don't care.
No, yeah, I agree. I don't think they should have been in the cell, but it is what it is, right?
Everyone's like, "Oh, wow, who is she gonna face? Carmella, Liv?" I'm like, no. I'm like, they can use enhancement talent. They can bring a girl up from NXT to face Bianca. Like, they have done that in the past. Like, just have her wrestle. But I'm gonna go with Bianca still. I think Bianca holds the belt so Sasha comes back, and we get Sasha Bianca at SummerSlam. I just don't think this should be in the cell. But Bianca, who do you pick?
I want Bayley to win. I just do. I think
personally, not bad if you do though.
She was my favorite SmackDown women's champion. Like I said that before, I really believe that. She was really fun as champion, and I'd be down for another run, man. Why not?
Oh, 100%. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. So here's the thing. Rhea's another one of those people, got pushed, won the Rumble, won the belt at WrestleMania and Asuka, retained the belt against Asuka again, beat Asuka and Charlotte in a triple threat.
Oh yeah,
they turned her heel for some reason. I'm not buying it. I feel like when they sent Rhea back to NXT after the feud with Charlotte in 2020, it did her no favor. She should have came straight to the main roster then and started dominating and beat Charlotte for that belt or something. Because anything she's done since she's been back feels like, what? She was in the Rumble. Okay, she was in the final. Oh, she just came and requested a title match. Like, what? Like, Rhea's another person that's, maybe this is the match. Maybe this is the match where we, but it's not even in the cell. If this is in the cell, maybe this is the match that makes Rhea like a maid. Maybe this will be like Rhea's, Brock Taker 2002 moment where Brock, got his ass whipped by Taker in the cell, but somehow came out on top. Like, maybe that was going to be the story here, but no, it's not. It's just a singles match. And unpopular opinion, I think Charlotte takes the belt.
You think that too? Because I'm with you. I'm with you on this. It hasn't been hitting the way they think it was going to hit, but Charlotte should take that strap and run with it, man.
I'm not against Rhea winning it back at SummerSlam or something, but I just think we need a reason to have Rhea like chase the belt again or something.
I think here's the thing: Charlotte wins the belt, and then with Becky apparently coming back, there are rumors swirling around. She was spotted at the Performance Center. Hey, man, I would be all up for a Becky and Charlotte feud. Why not? And then Rhea can come in there too because it just makes for more great wrestling at the end of the day.
No, I'm with you. And then last but not least, Bobby Lashley versus. You know what though? I don't like.
You don't care.
Said, Becky was spotted at the Performance Center and stuff, and I do like Becky. I do, and I know when her music hits, maybe there'll be a part. Especially if it's on Raw. Not even though SmackDown has no women. It's just literally Liv, Carmella, Bianca, Bayley.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. She's gonna go to SmackDown, I guess, right? Makes sense.
To do a shake-up ASAP. I know they said they're going to do the one, but they need to do one ASAP because this is like. I have no comments about any. I'm just thinking because I'm like, I don't want her in the Sasha Bianca picture either.
It'd be funny if she just takes Sasha's spot.
We kind of need. Shout out to Sasha though. She's actually being nominated for an Emmy for her role in The Mandalorian. So go do your thing, Sasha Banks, or Mercedes, I should say. But there's a thing that like I kind of want to that point. Like I think I kind of want them to split it up in the way that it has never been split up though. Like,
what do you mean?
Either have Sasha Charlotte back on the same show and Becky and Bayley on the same show, which would be cool when they do the draft. We never really had a Becky Bayley feud.
I'm trying to think. And does NXT count?
No, NXT doesn't count.
Okay, then no, we haven't.
Right. Yeah, and like it's been years since we've really had Sasha and Charlotte actually cross paths properly, and it'd be okay to go back to that now on SmackDown.
That'd be pretty cool. Now I think about it. You know what?
Because it's been years now. It's been since like 2017, 18, like, and they've crossed paths here and there, but we haven't had like a Sasha, Charlotte, hey, it's you again. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like that Randy Orton like Edge thing or something.
Yeah, like Orton Cena or something.
I didn't want to see Cena because I know you'd be like, what the fuck?
No, but it is like that, And Charlotte's the equivalent to John Cena, let's be real here. And it would be cool, and I think that if they do a shakeup like Becky and Bayley running rampant on Raw, Sasha and Charlotte on SmackDown, I'm with that, man, and we need that change. And then also you have that undercard, you have the Biancas there, like you mix it up with the Rheas, the Carmellas, the Livs, the Natties, the Taminas, the Nias, the Alexas. Like let's mix up this women's division because it needs a shakeup for sure. No, I'm gonna go with Charlotte. The main event's Drew. Talking about shakeups and something we need to change from. Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley inside Hell in the Cell.
Really? First time ever?
A cell match nobody cares about. Nobody cares about. These guys have been wrestling each other since Drew won the belt last year at WrestleMania. And they took a little bit of break and then they came back to it.
Well,
Bobby Lashley wins. I don't care if it's Jinder. I don't care if it's Sheamus. I don't care if it's I don't know, returning Aleister Black or something, or Samoa Joe dropping down from the rafters.
Jesus Christ.
We need
this guy's been watching too much WCW.
We need someone to beat up Drew McIntyre to move on from this feud.
I agree. No, I agree. It's been a while since we've seen these. Fuck. It's been way too long since we've seen these guys fight. That's more like it. And you know what? I'll give them credit, man. They're gonna put on a show. It's gonna be good. Drew's a fucking beast. Bobby's an animal. It's gonna be great. And then
honestly, if Cena returns, I want him to come back to Raw. I get it. Fox is Fox, and he's got to promote Fast 9, and Roman Reigns is the hottest thing. Cena, I don't care to see Roman versus Cena again. I don't. I do not care to see Roman Reigns versus John Cena again. Does nothing for
So
me.
wait, I have a
At
question.
the end of the day, I want Roman to win anyways. But Cena and Lashley gives Lashley something.
No, I agree. So if Cena doesn't come back to face Roman, who faces Roman at SummerSlam?
You got Edge as a possibility. You got either one of the Usos. He doesn't need to have a major match. We already know that Roman's gonna win. I know everyone wants. Oh, we want Roman Rock or Roman Cena and this and that, like Brock and Roman and Cena and this, or Cena and Roman and Brock and Lashley. No, like it's once again, guys. If you are thinking like this, you are getting your own hopes too high. Do not get your hopes that high. We will get one of those things. It's probably gonna be John Cena, which is cool if it's Cena. But if you're expecting both matches to be a bang, like Roman didn't even want to be on this pay-per-view.
Nope.
So you tell me. Because realistically, Roman and Ray would have been the main event of this show, not Drew and Bobby.
No, 100%. Yeah. But I think like
Roman could fight Jimmy Uso, and that's the main event of the show. Roman could fight Edge again. That's the main event of the show.
Well, I don't want to see Edge wrestle Roman. Like,
I don't know.
Edge is gonna lose. Like, come on.
If Cesaro ends up beating Seth this month and next month, we can have Cesaro and Roman again.
What about Nakamura? They're building Nakamura really fucking strong.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's so many options for like Roman that it's like I don't want to see Roman Cena. Like that takes away from all. And that's the point. Look at SmackDown. Look at SmackDown properly. They're building Nakamura up again. They're building Cesaro up again. Seth is doing what Seth does best. They're building up the Usos. They're building up Dominic with Mr. Like they're doing all these things. Hell, they're even building up Otis for fuck's sakes. But a guy like Cena coming to their face, Roman just kills all of that.
No, I agree. I think
on Raw, they ain't building anybody up, so you might as well just throw them up in there anyways, because all they built is Drew versus Bobby for 8 months.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be pretty cool because then you can go back to the 2007 or 6 rivalry. But
and if Bobby can finally beat Cena, that's a torch that needs to be passed because Roman already has the torch and he's running with it. Bobby needs to be made a legitimate champion, and him just beating Drew over and over and over and over again does not make him a legitimate champion.
Yeah.
It's cool, but
Drew's already a solidified dude, man. He's got everything he needed to
do. And when Drew gets,
he's a 2-time WWE champion.
Drew's a fucking man. Drew can do whatever he wants, but Drew can help elevate someone like that needs to, a revamp or something.
I think with the draft coming up soon, I think Balor was one of them.
And also look at SmackDown. I'm not even looking at the Intercontinental title scene. They're trying to build up Big E. They're trying to build up Kevin Owens. They're trying to build up Sami Zayn. They don't need John Cena to come there and just take a spot. And Edge is most likely going to SmackDown. They don't need John Cena or Brock Lesnar to come there to take a spot. They got enough. And then don't be those guys after when John Cena goes back to make movies again or Brock disappears again. Like, well, fuck, why doesn't Kevin Owens do anything special? Why doesn't Sami Zayn? I thought Big E was going to get pushed. No, because you guys get horned over John Cena coming back to fight Roman Reigns, and none of these other guys get a push to the top of the card. Yeah, idiots. God damn it.
I hate Cena.
No, I'm saying Cena comes along. I'm just saying, Cena. Anybody coming to face Roman that's not already on that SmackDown card is stupid. Imagine we got Roman versus Shinsuke at SummerSlam.
No, that'd be pretty sick. And it would go
80,000 fans in Allegiant Stadium singing along to Shinsuke's song.
That would be pretty cool. It'd be a cool scene. And then you can call back to the Rumble moment in 2018 when Nakamura eliminated Roman.
Roman's just adds a place where he can make new stars. We've seen it with what he's done with Jey Uso alone. Why would you want some old guy to come and put him over when he doesn't?
If they draft AJ Styles to SmackDown and we get Roman AJ,
I don't even know what AJ Styles
is hooked.
Doing on Raw. Randy Orton's on Raw.
You should go to SmackDown. That's his show. That's the house that AJ Styles
built. I can't wait for a shake-up. And but I think we'll probably get AJ Roman around Survivor Series. I don't think Roman losing the belt to WrestleMania. And only then at WrestleMania am I like, okay, let's do Roman and The Rock. Only then, because it's Wrestle fucking Mania.
No. I'd have The Rock at Survivor Series because that's his
also, what the fuck is Daniel Bryan? Is he signing back, or what the fuck's the situation?
I was thinking about the yesterday. I was like, I don't know when we're getting Bryan back. It's weird. It's not weird, but it's like, I guess when he comes back, it's gonna fucking matter. You know what I mean?
5 years ago, I would never have said this. Maybe 10 years ago, I definitely would never have said this. But I'm gonna say it right now. I would rather have Daniel Bryan come back than Edge. I said it. And I'm an Edge is my top 10 favorites. Now he's in my top 20 because I moved him a little bit further because I realized he started to piss me off. But Daniel Bryan's not even in my top 20, but I'd rather have Daniel Bryan come back than Edge.
Nah. I think Daniel Bryan fought Roman already, and
if he shows up to Raw and shit.
Oh, if he goes to Raw, then okay, yeah, I'm cool with that. I just don't want him going back to SmackDown because he kind of
Raw needs help. SmackDown's chilling. SmackDown has all the stars they need, and if they really wanted to mix up, they could. But yeah, that's a Hell in a Cell prediction. Did you watch In Your House last week?
I did. I caught LA Knight and
so I'm not going to detail about it, but I'll say this: the show was good.
The show was good. People,
it wasn't great, but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I don't think it lived up to what our expectations are for takeovers. The main event did, without a doubt. The 5-way, a lot was happening. It was entertaining, but other than that, like it was good. I love the nostalgia of it all. I love Todd Pettingill being there. I love the Doc's Henry being like. It was good. It was a good show overall. I wouldn't say it was my favorite takeover. I'm glad Karrion Kross stood tall against Adam Cole, Gargano, and Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne was who I was rooting for. I was rooting for Pete Dunne. And
most of us were.
It was good, and the follow-up on NXT obviously was Samoa Joe. The rumors were going around, and Joe.
I got chills, man.
He's back. He's on NXT. He's not a co-general manager, but he's like William Regal's assistant.
It's like that Steve Austin thing from 2000.
Well, Austin was the co-general manager, then got fired from the job, and then became the sheriff.
Yeah, sort of like that, but it was just, it's cool to see Joe back. He deserves it.
Well, I'm glad they did that because I also didn't want to see William Regal not be the GM of NXT because I love Regal as the GM of NXT. So I like this, like, we're together. I'm like your
it's like a side
bodyguard.
Yeah, sort of.
I'm the guy that takes I'm your heavy when shit gets too rowdy. And send me out there. I'll set them straight. And the whole rule, and it's the Austin contract is the whole. I can't touch anybody unless I'm provoked. Someone touches me or whatnot. And you know what? What all that really shows me is that, like I said, I think a week ago, maybe on this show, was like, everyone's like, oh, then who else are they going to bring back? I'm like, no, I don't think they're going to bring back a lot of people. I just think Triple H really liked Samoa Joe and they had a different relationship. Like, I think they fucked with each other. What also shows that Triple H has no input in these releases. Because he was probably, why would you let go of Joe? You could just give him back to me.
Probably, pulled for that and it worked. But I think with this run, I think we might get Joe versus Cross, man. The Tuesday.
Hopefully. Is Joe clear to wrestle? Because that's the thing. Because even before he got released, he was just on commentary. No one knows Joe's status.
If he's retired, then, it was a good career. But if he's still good to go, then why the hell not? One more match. Or not?
Yeah, dude, they had a face-off with Joe and Cross. They had a face-off with Joe and Dunn. They had and everybody had a face-off with like, I want to see this.
And then this guy comes backstage and just fucks up Adam Cole, which was just like, holy shit! If we get Adam Cole and Samoa Joe, like inject that shit into my veins.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of dream matches, but then but like we don't know. And the thing with Joe isn't like it's what I said last week too. I was like, if he goes to AEW, I'm like the thing with Joe is like he doesn't need necessarily like obviously he can wrestle. We know that, but he has been in the business for so long and is so knowledgeable, and he's worked with so many of these guys in the independents and Ring of Honor and stuff like that. And people seem to like Joe. He'd be a great person backstage to work with the talent and whatnot. I feel like Triple H felt that way too. Whether he can wrestle or not, like there's so much he has to offer. Just as a person on screen or with the talent, and they all like him, and he's knowledgeable. He knows how to cut a promo. And before AEW could snatch him up, I think Triple H is like, no, we'll just bring him back to NXT. That being said, coming back to NXT usually comes with a pay cut. But Joel's probably like, fuck it.
Money's not everything sometimes, as long as you're happy with what you get and where you work, then you'd rather have the experience over the cash. And I think sometimes that's just what it takes. You know what I mean?
I wonder if Triple H used his line he used on Gallows and Anderson when they were re-signed before they got released. The whole, we're going to be here forever. We don't know about these other companies. But I'm glad Joe's back in NXT. I love the vibe. It actually, I don't know, because my what's so crazy? I was actually went back and started watching the NXTs from 2012 when it started to be like the show with Richie Steamboat and everyone. I was like, oh man, I used to really fuck with NXT from 2012 to like 2017. But I don't want to say love hate. That's not the word, but I'm very bipolar when it comes to my viewing of NXT. Like I watch and then I don't watch. I watch for a couple of weeks. I don't watch for like 4 weeks. But I always watch Takeover. But the weekly show I'm very on and off about. maybe I feel like with Joe being there, I might want to tune in a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I felt that way too because a lot of fucking wrestling, happens in 1 week. But NXT really caught my eye, man. I'm excited to see. And with LA Knight finally turning heel and embracing his true colors, Cameron Grimes is gonna be the biggest babyface, and possibly all of professional wrestling because this man is over.
Really been enjoying Cameron Grimes.
No, me too.
I didn't realize it, but I watched the press conference and shit they did before.
Yeah.
This guy's the most like over the top character on this panel, and that's fine that everyone else is more chill, laid back, playing their cool characters. But I'm like, Cameron Grimes is like a jokester. He's got like charisma, and dude's fucking hilarious, and I can fuck with that.
Cameron Grimes,
yeah. But
he's a man. Yeah. That's cool.
And he was a heel before this, but now LA Knight turning heel. Now Cameron Grimes is all of a sudden the good guy, and you're like, oh, I can actually root for this guy now. I like him. So
I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't really understand the Cameron Grimes character before, but now like it came full circle. Like I get it. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense, and it's cool. And when Ted DiBiase taking bumps, man, as if he's like in his fucking prime, it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. Speaking of big reveals this week, though, other than Samoa Joe and LA Knight turning heel, the Evolution has begun.
Oh, I know you.
And let me tell you something, okay? All you jackasses out there that say I wouldn't like her because she's hot, that's partially true. But let me tell you something. How do you guys like, yo? Okay. I want to clear the air about something first, and then I'm gonna explain the storyline to you guys.
Let's hear it.
But to clear the air, for the fucking 10th, millionth, thousandth time that I have to say this, I've responded to so many comments. They did not release anybody to sign Eva Marie. That's not what happened.
Oh, you're
they
still
did not release the fucking Iconics and whoever else they released, Ruby Riott and Lana for Eva Marie. That was never the case. She was already signed since last year in fucking like November, December when the rumors started swirling. So all you guys that come in there like, wow, I can't fucking believe they released these people and Eva's back. That's not what happened. It's not what happened. Okay. So stop saying that. I'm not even trying to defend her. I just think it makes you look stupid. Stop making yourself look stupid on the internet. It lives there forever. The moment you look stupid, you're stupid forever. Don't be that person. Now, second, I understand why people hate this, and I'm not going to argue that you have any right not to hate this. I argue with people on a daily basis if she's just a really good heel heat, or if this is go away heat, which is a really cool term that everyone likes to use in the past, like 5-6 years is go away heat. Oh no, it's not good heat. Like I don't like her. It's heat like go away heat. Like get off my TV. What type of heat do you want your heels to have? The kind where they're bad people, but you like them? That's not heat because you like them. That means they're good people. That means you want to low-key cheer for them. That's not a fucking heel. A heel is when you actually don't want to cheer for them. No, when Jinder Mahal was a WWE champion, you guys fucking hated him. He was a true heel. When Baron Corbin's boring ass, and I'm agreeing with you guys, he's boring as fuck sometimes. When Baron Corbin's boring ass comes out on TV and you want to change a channel, realistically, bro, that's a true heel because if he's working with someone that you like a Shinsuke, you're going to keep watching and you're going to wish he gets his ass kicked. Mm-hmm. That's a true heel. Okay? Roman Reigns isn't a true heel. Is he killing it as a bad guy right now? For sure. But low-key, a lot of us like it. That doesn't make him the best heel in the business. If people low-key want to cheer him, that doesn't make him the best heel in the business. If people on podcasts and then I'm like, but he's doing a really good job, that doesn't make him the best heel or her the best heel in the business. If you are genuinely fucking like Bailey's a heel right now, but low-key, we all like Bailey as a heel. Yeah. Seth is a heel right now, but low-key, we all like Seth as a heel. Not saying they're doing bad at their job. They're killing it at their job. I enjoy seeing them being bad guys. But they're not that legitimate heat heel. Whereas if Seth won a belt or beat Roman, we wouldn't be fully mad. But boy, if Baron Corbin beat Roman, we'd be pissed. Right?
No, yeah, I agree.
He was a bad guy. Miz was a bad guy. They both won the belt last year when we were celebrating their victory.
I was hyped. It was good.
Those aren't real heels in the OG way. Like, are they heels for sure? Are they killing it? I'm not going to say they're not killing it. They're doing great jobs at their roles. But they're not like the actual legitimate heat go away heel. They're just good heels that like the good bad guys. Eva Marie gets heat for even breathing. Okay, this woman just fucking dude, the moment that they announced that it was gonna be Eva versus Naomi, people were popping off in anger and disbelief. Like, that's what you want from
Cancel the
someone.
WWE.
Can you imagine how pissed people are gonna be if she wins the championship? Yes, they're gonna say cancel the Peacock.
I really want her to win the belt just because of that.
And the fact that there's only a minority of people like myself that like her shows you that she's a real heel, because it's not the majority.
Oh yeah.
And I don't the whole storyline with Piper Nevin coming out there with her and winning the match, and like, dude, that's fucking hilarious. Raw needs some shit like that. Yo, do you guys not see the writing? Okay, it's this girl who everyone already thinks can't wrestle, who everyone already thinks used the WWE to get famous and left WWE, continued to make a name for herself, being on Big Brother, starting her clothing brand, being an influencer, making all this money off that shit. She comes back. And what was one of the things I said? The best role for Eva would be like kind of being like a manager where she takes a girl under her wing and like, you know, someone that's maybe not the most well put together girl, like, and tries to make her like, you know, an influencer and tries to change her ways. This is even funnier because now she has a super fan who's probably like this girl that watches Eva on Instagram. Like, that's the storyline. Figure it out, right? Piper Nevin's supposed to be this Eva fan that loves her Instagram page, wishes she could look like her and dress like her. Obviously does not look like her whatsoever. She's a bigger plus size woman. And Eva's manipulating her and using her to her benefit. Because the super fan's gonna do whatever for Eva. She's gonna fight Eva's battles and Eva's gonna take the victories. And that fan thinks, oh my god, my hero's like giving me attention as like my friend. And Eva's like, yeah, we're friends. So I need you to like keep doing shit for me. It's gonna be fucking hilarious. Like,
no, I'm with that. I think that would be.
I'm not trying to put smoke up Eva's ass, but at the same time, everybody they try to do this like hot character with, whether it's Emma, Liv Morgan, Lana. I know there's more and I can't think of them right now. They tried to Carmella, like Carmella's killing it with the hottest woman in the WWE. She's doing good, but everyone else has kind of flopped. Tennille went back. Emma went back to being evil Emma. Lana just kind of wasn't just Lana. Liv went back to the Riot Squad. Like, nobody actually succeeded at this. They brought the first person they tried it with back.
It's good, man. I'm with it. I think, you know, it's going to be good. It is good television. I'm not going to lie.
And it's funny. The women's division needs something funny and different than this. Like, you know, it's been serious for too long.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be funny, dude. Like, this, like, and everyone's like, oh, Piper, she was like a badass. Now she's going to be remembered. It's like Mickie James and Trish. No matter how badass Mickie continued to be after the Trish feud, we still all remember her being that super fan for Trish and the stalker.
And it was
the only difference was that she's not a stalker. She is a super fan, but Eva's like manipulating her. You know what the best moment's going to be is when Piper finally realizes that Eva's using her and fucking kills Eva. Like, come on, guys. Let's anticipate the build up to get there. Let's go on this ride and enjoy it. Like, this is funny. Like, you guys all thought Eva was going to wrestle and she came out there and stood up the ringside. And fucking let Piper wrestle and then said, you're a winner, Eva Marie.
Did you read the comments when they posted that on Twitter? Dude, they fucking like they went ham.
This girl is hated for breathing. I'm telling you.
It was good heat. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's go away heat, but in a good way to make her look, you know, a heel.
I'm on board with the Evaluation. You guys can all hate me if you want. I'm just being honest.
Because I think canceled.
Before we switch to Dynamite, just a couple of things I want to touch on. Thank you. I want to thank everybody that checked out the Eric Bischoff interview. Listen, guys, I love it. I do genuinely appreciate and love it when you DM me, or you know, it's mostly DMs. There's a few of you that have my phone number and text me, and you give me your thoughts and opinions about how you felt about the interview.
Remember when I add your number?
Yeah, chill. And obviously the family from Discord, you guys always tell me in the Discord, or you tell me on our Clubhouse live chats. And I appreciate you guys letting me know how you felt about the interview, whether it's DM or text or Clubhouse or whatnot. But please drop comments. Drop comments on the YouTube video. Drop comments on my page. I need there to be visible feedback for like even Bischoff and other people to see, not just for myself. So yeah, guys, drop comments, like share that feedback. And I'm glad you guys appreciated the Bischoff interview. I was really nervous. We talked about it last week on the show, how I was kind of concerned because like 90s wrestling podcast and like Angle podcast also got Bischoff around the same time, and that kind of got under my skin a little bit. But I listened to both the interviews, and they were both very different. 90s wrestling podcast focused really on the stuff that people want to know about Bischoff from WCW, like David Arquette winning the title and signing Hogan, the formation of NWO. A lot of the stuff that Bischoff's already talked about throughout the years and on 83 weeks every week. So it's still a really good interview if you just want like a quick hit of a lot of the stuff that Bischoff accomplished. So I would go listen to the 90s Wrestling Podcast with Bischoff. Angle's podcast with Bischoff was more, I don't know, it was kind of similar, but it was a lot of different questions, a lot more about him getting signed to WWF and stuff like that. Where I feel like my interview with him was a lot about like, let's talk about the product today. Yeah, we talked about Bret Hart and Starrcade 1997, but like, how do you feel about the product today? Because I feel this way. And it was like a real conversation between me and Eric, and I've grown to like it a lot more than I did initially. So go check it out if you haven't. Wherever you listen to the TWC show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, I'll be on that stream or on my YouTube channel. Please, guys, support the YouTube channel. I see you guys go, and anytime I drop an interview, you guys all go watch the interview, and you guys all get hyped for the interviews and shit. But when I drop the short clips, you guys aren't watching them. Watch the fucking short clips too, guys.
No, I agree.
Like, watch the short clips too. Like, I'm trying to get those out there for you guys to give you little snippets of the old interviews and stuff. Maybe I'm not dropping the right stuff. I just, I appreciate supporting the interviews when they first drop, but watch the short clips, the quick little short clips. I don't know where your video went, Daniel.
I don't know. Someone kept trying to call me, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it. But you know what?
Leave the studio and come back in. Just leave the studio, come back in.
All right, cool.
And then also, while Daniel's refreshing himself over here, for those of you who's watching on video form on Patreon, I also just quickly wanted to touch on the Chyna documentary. I don't know if you guys were able to see the Chyna documentary that was on Vice. It's called Vice Versa. It's about Chyna. I want to touch on that before we talk about Impact really quickly. I don't want to go in depth on it just because I don't know how many of you guys have watched it, this and that. But my thing about that was it was really sad. It was a really sad story. She was surrounded by people that took advantage of her and want to take advantage of her fame. She was surrounded by abusers that also, encourage her to continue to abuse. And in her most vulnerable time in life, she wasn't surrounded by people that truly loved her and would have supported her. She closed herself off to a lot of people, rightfully so. She had her guard up. But I wish she reached out to people like that seemed like they cared about her, like Vince Russo, like Mick Foley, people that might have actually taken her in and helped her out, like her mom, like her family, like actually reaching out to them, knowing that they actually cared. She was a really insecure, vulnerable person. I felt like nobody cared about her. And, I know she was hoping people would reach out to her, but if no one knows what's going on, they're not going to reach out, right? Like, you got to make that step. And it's just a sad story. I wish WWE embraced her back. I wish she was put in the Hall of Fame still. And anyone that's saying like, oh, everyone only likes Chyna after she died, they're like, no. If you guys remember, while she was still alive, people were wanting her in the Hall of Fame, and I was one of those people too. I think I went in depth on this on Clubhouse, and I do really wish she reached out to someone that she didn't think was a friend of hers anymore, but truly did care. Because look how that worked out with Jake the Snake and Scott Hall when they reached out to DDP,
Yeah, 100%.
Someone they lost touch with, someone that was one of their boys back in the day, but they reached out and DDP helped them. There's I have no doubt that someone would have went out of their way to genuinely help Chyna than the people that she surrounded herself with that just want to make a documentary and do drugs with her and exploit her. That being said, the Hall of Fame thing, like I said it millions of times, I always kind of looked at the Hall of Fame as a day where it doesn't really mean anything to generally, like it's not a thing where you get a big payday. It's not like there's a physical Hall of Fame where you can go see this shit, but it's a day where those wrestlers or personalities get to be admired and shown respect from their peers and the fans, right? Like you get to have that time under the spotlight where your peers sitting in the crowd and the fans in the arena get to like show you love and respect for everything you've done in your career, and that's what matters the most. And that's what means the most. So that's why sometimes unless it's like an unfortunate circumstance where like Eddie or someone died really young unexpectedly, it always sucks when someone doesn't get in there while they're still alive, because I feel like that a Hall of Fame is more about having that person in there to come give that speech in front of their fans, in front of their peers, and be even though this year, like those people never got to go into the Hall of Fame in front of fans and stuff, but at least they got to come out of the stage at WrestleMania and have that moment in front of fans and stuff. And it's like, did they do that this year? When they came out on stage?
No, I don't think so. They didn't.
They did. The NWO came out on stage. They did.
I think it was just the end of it.
Bellas came out on stage and
Oh
stuff.
wait,
They did.
You're right.
Because even if they never got to be in front of a crowd for the actual induction.
I know Rob didn't. RVD did it.
No, he did. He came out on stage. Kali was there and stuff. They all came out on stage.
Did he?
Yeah, Rob just wasn't the main. You wanted Rob to be the main person, but he wasn't.
Oh, I kept thinking like his music was gonna play.
Yeah,
but no, he was there.
You wanted Rob's music to play too, but they only did NWO.
Yeah.
Okay. They always do everyone up there and then one main person. So that night it was Rob, it was NWO, and the next night it was Kane. But
yeah.
So like at least they had that moment to get it. Like, you know, like that's what I think the Hall of Fame means, right? Obviously for the people's families and stuff after the person passes away, it still means a lot too. But I just like Savage and Vader and Chyna, all these people not being able to come out there and give that speech in front of their peers and fans and have that moment sucks, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I do still think she should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not one of those people that just started liking Chyna after she died. I always had a different respect for Chyna because I grew up watching her as a little kid. She was fighting the men. She was different. And I have a huge respect for the women that were in the industry in that period of time, in that late 90s and the 80s, because it really was a man's world, the wrestling world. And for them to, like, I look at Chyna and I'm like, she was wrestling the men. She was the only one that was up there to that level. She's a former Intercontinental champion in a locker room full of guys that probably did not want to see her really succeed to that level because they would be taking their spot.
Mm-hmm.
I look at people like Sable and Sunny who came in there through relationships that they had with wrestlers. You know, Sunny was with Candido and Sable was Mark Miro's husband, and they popped off and became so popular where Sable was getting pops the same level as Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it's like, people probably hated that because she was selling more merchandise and she was taking time and she's a woman in a man's world. And I know that's true because till this very fucking day, Sasha Banks was on a podcast. It might have been the New Day or Jericho, where she talked about how her and Bayley had to secretly practice their match for NXT Brooklyn. So the guys wouldn't complain about them doing certain spots or like yada, yada, yada.
No way, really?
Yeah, because the guys didn't want the guys didn't want the women to outshine their matches to do something like, you know what I mean? It's if that's what exists still till today a little bit, and I know it's not as much as it might have been back then, but if it still exists even a little bit today. Someone else told me when I brought that up that like there was someone even said that the men were pissed at the women main event at the Royal Rumble where they first had Rumble. If that still exists today, imagine what it was like in 1998 and 99. The dudes fuck the women. The guys that were the ones that make the money for this company. Like, so and think about it. And for a lot of these women, the business fucked them up back in the day. The business fucked up Chyna. She wanted to come back to WWE so bad. It fucked up her for the rest of her life. The business fucked up Sunny. She started fucking being around all these dudes that were hitting on her, started fucking doing drugs with them. Like,
even Liz, man. Liz had a hard one too.
And Sable luckily got away, came back, got away again, married Brock, and maybe had the best success story from the women from that period of time. But the business fucked up these women.
Yeah, no,
they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame because they were part of the business at a really tough time being in the business. When it was such a male-dominated situation, if the women got over, the men were like, "What the fuck," you know?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, man, 100%. I have the most upwards respect
and
for
the fact
Chyna.
that Chyna most likely was never welcomed back because Triple H was with Stephanie is. You can say it's not because of that. You can say it's because of the porn. X-Pac was in those fucking pornos too. That guy's in the Hall of Fame like twice already. No disrespect to X-Pac. I love X-Pac. I'm a Sean Waltman fan, but it's the same. Or is that a double standard now again?
Yeah, it makes you really think. But Hogan
was in a porno with him saying the N-word and he's back.
Yeah, it's a business, man. It fucking sucks at the end of the day. But on shout out to Wrestling Historian, he posted a fucking picture of Hunter and Chyna bearing the hatchet at Piper's funeral in 2015. And
which also, again,
I've never seen that picture. So
I remember that happening, and also comes again to the whole situation of, were they on the track of her actually coming back now? Because sometimes it just takes time. Sometimes time is the answer to it all, because I felt the same way about Savage. I'm like, he's doing the Wrestling All-Star commercials. He's promoting his action figure. I'm like, maybe this is the road back finally. Chyna made amends with Triple H at Piper's funeral. Maybe this is the road back finally.
You think it was? I feel like it might have been. And
that's always a sad part because she let her demons take control of her and she passed away early. And it's like, fuck. And, Savage, never went to the doctors when he should have went to the doctors, according to Hogan, to get his heart checked. And he probably could have got away with it. But, listen, as much as it sounds like I'm painting WWE, I'm not painting them as a bad picture. They're a corporation, a business, and there is obviously always going to be some shady lines and whatnot, but they've in the past shown that they've been able to welcome people back in. They did it with Bruno. I never thought Vince and Bruno were ever going to. It was Triple H that repaired that relationship. They did it with Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Anything's possible, and I think Chyna probably would have been welcomed back sooner than later. She was young, right? She wasn't old.
I don't know how old she was when she passed, but I remember
she was 40 something. She was young, and she could have. I think she would have came back. I don't mean to bring up Savage, but on Savage's end, I think a lot of that was equal stubbornness on each side. I think he was also very stubborn to come back.
Even the Brett thing, man. Brett fucking came back. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's crazy. But
rest in peace, Chyna. It's a sad documentary. Check it out if you guys haven't.
I haven't yet because I know I'm gonna get sad. I don't want to be sad, so I'm just like waiting to just kind of.
She was 46 years old when she passed away. She was a young man.
Wow.
But honestly, like once again, like for me, I still remember watching the tapes. My brother used to record Raw every week. I was a little kid, and I remember watching the tapes and seeing Chyna come out there and ragdoll Marlena, and I was like, "Oh, this is." And as a kid, like I'm not, especially as a very young kid, I'm not sitting there judging anybody on the basis of how attractive they are or not. It was really just like, "Oh, this chick's an ass kicker. This chick's a badass." Like, "Oh, she can beat up anybody. Look at her." So yeah, like
she's a real powerhouse, man.
Yeah, she was jacked. She was jacked, man. I thought she could beat up Triple H. I thought like Hunter S. Helmsley. No wonder he has his growing inside. She probably kick his ass. But yeah, as a kid, that's the way you see shit, right? But rest in peace, Chyna. Go check out the documentary, guys. It's really, really good. It's really fucked up too, and it'll give you a bunch of different opinions. Dynamite this week, guys. I cannot wait until June 30th until Dynamite's not taped no more in front of a live crowd again, because they had the live crowd for a couple of weeks there for Double or Nothing and everything, and the Dynamites before that, and then they went back to the tape shows, which they don't have the full audience there because they didn't want leaks. But that being said, like these tape shows makes me just miss the crowds again, because it's just Dynamite is always better with an audience, I've learned. And that's because similar to that old NXT audience when they were in Full Sail, the AEW fans are passionate fans, and they will cheer and boo how they're supposed to accordingly and make the show so much better than it enhances the show. It always enhances the show with the fans there.
No, I agree.
This show wasn't bad, but I miss the fans. How'd you feel about the whole MMA thing with Wardlow and Jake Hager?
I'm gonna let you go first because I'm curious to see how you feel.
I liked it. It was different.
Really?
Obviously it was fake. Obviously it wasn't MMA. Everyone was going in there expecting it to be like what we watched a couple Saturdays ago. Obviously it wasn't going to be it's MMA in the wrestling world. It kind of gave me, it was vibes of when Shamrock and Owen used to fight in the Lions Den back in SummerSlam 98 and stuff like that. I think we did Dan Severn and Owen too, but like it's like, they're working in a shoot environment. So as long as you understand that, you can enjoy it. That being said, I did think they gave Wardlow a little too much offense against Hager.
I agree, but at the same time, it kind of felt slow. I don't know if that was just me. I was just like, yo, it's just been kind of going for too long. Like, can something pick up? But I'll give them credit. They tried something new on Dynamite, and like, they were willing to take that risk, because I know WWE did sort of try that with Raw Underground, and like it was a hit sometimes, it was a miss sometimes, but shout out to this company for trying something new, because at the end of the day, you don't know how something's gonna go if you don't try it and take that step. You know what I mean? Take that risk.
No, honestly, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool, and I wouldn't
cool concept. Yeah.
Again. The brawl after made sense. MJF wearing Nike socks with dress clothes, bro. You gotta love the gimmick, bro. They could have just been plain black socks with no Nike check mark, and you could have got away with it. But
by the way, I don't know if you caught this, but I think MJF fucked up Jericho's arm kayfabe wise to write off Jericho for the Fozzy tour. So this might be Jericho's last AEW show for a while.
Which wouldn't be? I'd be okay with that for a bit.
I'd be okay too.
Yeah. I think Jericho's. We need absence makes the heart grow fonder. Jericho, yeah. Mm-hmm. The rest of the show is decent. These tape shows, I'm over it. I need to come back. Brock Anderson made his debut team with Cody against QT and Aaron Solo. a decent match. Brock Anderson looks like his dad. Obviously, guys, he's a little green. He's new at this.
But you know what's so cool, man? I was thinking about this. I was just like, now that we got Brock Anderson in there, Brian Pillman Jr. and possibly David Benoit,
wanting to form the Horsemen from WCW.
Dude, I tweeted it out and I was like, I'd love to see Pillman versus Brock Anderson down the line, and then that shit blew up. It gets me really excited to watch AEW as a fan and possibly wanting to be a professional wrestler because the future's bright, and it's just cool because a lot of fucking good talent, like a lot of good talent.
100%, and I think that would be super cool to see that. But I think we need Brock to. He's been training at the Nightmare Factory, but just kind of like he's got it, but not fully.
No, of course, man. He's green. It takes time to fucking learn.
I know this doesn't matter, and I'm not saying this to be like I'm not saying like I'm sitting here like Hercules or anything, but I kind of would like him to be like either be full fat or be in shape.
No, he looks okay.
Being in the middle kind of feels weird.
I think they just try and make him look like his dad, just kind of like a tribute. I don't know. Yeah,
and I'm happy though. I thought he did good. I'm glad he picked the win in a cool way. Dusty's kid and Anderson's kid teaming together, probably special moment.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
100%. Andrade said they have a surprise. Is it Zelina Vega?
I hope so, but couple weeks ago there were rumors that Ultimo Dragon was supposed to come back, and fingers crossed. I hope it is. Could be a little cool swerve, but Zelina would be
Dragon going to do with Andrade.
Hey man, you know Ultimo Dragon, WCW.
I do, but what was he gonna do with Andrade? What did I have to do with it? I just said Andrade got a really good promo, and he said it's a surprise, and you brought up Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah, because that might be the surprise. I hope it is.
Andrade's just gonna bring Ultimo Dragon with him?
Fuck it, why not? We're trying new things.
What connection does Ultimo Dragon and Andrade Alabdola have?
I don't know. We'll make one, right? I don't know. It'll be cool, man. Ultimo Dragon and fucking Dynamite.
What the hell just happened here? When did you turn into Sonny Ono? I like to sit down interview with Andrade. If you guys haven't seen it, the full clip's on All Elite Wrestling's Instagram page. But yeah, I'm hoping it's Zelina Vega. I think that'd be cool. They brought up Vicky, and he's like, he said something like, "Yeah, I've known Vicky, she'll be in the company, but we have a surprise for everyone." And yeah,
that'd be good, man. Really excited. What else happened on Dynamite? I didn't catch the main event. I had to do some stuff, but I heard it was really good. I was curious though, why was one of the other Nick Jackson out? I didn't understand that.
They were trying to mix it up, I think, because both teams were kind of odd. Like, why wasn't Pac involved with it? Why was Eddie Kingston and Kazarian? I think they were trying to make it like let's put all the feuds together. We'll make Matt team with the Anderson and Gallows, and then we'll have Eddie Pentagon, and we'll have Kazarian instead. No,
yeah, it was good though. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for John.
The wrestling and everything was good. It just there was a segment too with the Hardy clan against Christian Cage, and they locked Christian in a cage. Like, yo, there's like 7 of you.
Yo, it was funny because
Are you scared of Christian? Like, I don't get it.
Yo, I love Private Party, by the way. I love their fucking theme song. It's pretty catchy, but it's good, man. Can't wait for Christian to fucking actually have a feud though.
Once again, another person that. Slow green, but I love the gimmick. I love the cheerleader with the varsity blondes. I actually do. I think there's a lot of like
Julia Hart.
But Penelope carried Julia Hart in that match. I'm just gonna say it. Shout out to Penelope. It was cool having Miro come out there. I got confused for a second. Like, why is Miro coming out here? And then I was like, Miro's with Penelope and Kip, even though he's the one that injured Kip. It makes him even seem like a bigger asshole to come help his wife because like you broke his heart.
Yeah.
And it was a smart way to book Blind Brian versus Miro, like a quick, smart way to do it. Very easy. But I was like, why is Miro out there? What's his connection? And I was like, oh yeah, it was Miro, Penelope, and Clip. That was a crew. But then also like he's like, I'm not gonna let 3 of you beat up on her.
I'll say this.
Arm is broken. Like, bro, you broke his arm, you dick.
No, I'll say this. I know I'm not the biggest Miro fan, but he's starting to grow on me. Like, I actually enjoy his character and like him.
Like this, a little bit more serious, not about video games.
Yeah.
A little bit badass. You actually think he can kick your ass. This is what he should have been like since day one.
Oh yeah, 100%, man.
And it's better than Rusev. I'll say it. It's better than Rusev, this character that he's doing right now. Because it's still a little bit him, but he's also still a badass. Where Rusev was also very serious majority of the time, or super comedic on the other end. Never in the middle. And then what he did coming in here was too kind of comedic video gaming, and I wasn't with him. But now him being like, that was such a dick thing. Like, he's coming here to defend Penelope. You broke her husband's arm, bro. Like, but it also set up a match with you and Flying Brian. This guy's just trying to find people to beat up. So, like, let's go.
No. By the way, that Jade Cargill promo, bro, she's a fucking star
in the making for sure,
dude.
I like
she's so
Mark
good.
Sterling. I didn't know how I felt about Mark Sterling, but I think it's funny.
It's good. It goes together, and I think the chemistry is just really good. And one day she's gonna win that AEW Women's title, and it's gonna be great.
They're doing a really good job of making us want to see Jungle Boy kick Kenny Omega's ass.
Oh yeah.
Even though we know that Omega's gonna win, but they're doing a really, really good job of making us want to see Jungle Boy kick.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks in a row, we've seen Jungle Boy get attacked by like 4 or 5 people. Where's Luchasaurus? Where's Marco Stunt? Did they just disappear off the face of the planet? I don't know. But right now, Jungle Boy's been getting his ass kicked week after week, and it's really making us want to.
Nakazawa got his ass kicked, I think.
Yeah.
This week.
Rampage promo drop, the commercial. Intrigued to see
cool.
where it goes. By the way, Dynamite was once again, it was solid this week. I'd give it if I was gonna give it a ranking, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10, maybe like a 6.5. Flew by, decent show. I'm looking forward to them to be back on Wednesdays, and I'm looking forward to them to be back with fans because
I miss fans.
All of these shows would be so much better with fans because the fans, especially AEW fans, notice the effect of WWE fans, but sometimes WWE fans sit on their hands and like they're just like parents bringing little kids there, so they don't react the same way. Where AEW fans are like passionate, loud, and proud fans that sing along and make noise, and I want to see that. Before we wrap things up, though, huge congratulations to Renee and John for giving birth to the little baby girl. We don't have a name yet, but that happened this past week. Renee Paquette's been nothing but a solid human being towards me and a friend. I have the privilege of calling her a friend, even though I don't even know if we're friends, but I'm just going to say we are because she's always been nice to me. Actually follows my personal page. And I've never really talked to John, but he seems like a good dude too. I've always admired them as a couple. I remember I told her and myself at the end, I'm like, you guys are going to make two of the coolest fucking parents that any kid could have.
No, they're cool.
They're both cool as fuck. So congratulations to Renee and John Moxley, aka Jonathan Good. And also a huge congratulations to Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes, who gave birth to their daughter, Liberty Iris Runnels. The Runnels legacy continues. Shout out to them, man. Has a reality show started yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. But hopefully they're filming all this. They gave us a name. They shared it. Liberty, freedom for all. I don't know either one of them. Never talked to either one of them. But they seem like good people. Hope to get to know them one day. I've been a Cody fan throughout the years. I like Brandy. So shout out to them and congratulations. Sending love to both families of both Renee's and John's and Cody's and Brandy's families. Send them out love and blessings, and it's a beautiful thing. We got a whole new generation of potential wrestlers being born right now. So see what happens.
What a time to be alive.
What a time. What a lifestyle.
What a lifestyle.
That being said, guys, be sure to subscribe to me at The Wrestling Classic on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok now. The Wrestling Classic, guys. You can follow me on TikTok. I popped off a couple of times, and now I'm not popping off no more. So I need you guys to go follow me so I can pop off. And you guys know the link in my bio. Check out my Hell in the Cell article before Hell in the Cell. 15 greatest Hell in the Cell matches according to me. The link's in my bio. You guys can quickly go check that out. I'd appreciate that. Make sure you guys check out. Oh, wow, I drew a blank there. Check out all my interviews on the Wrestling Classic YouTube channel, guys. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out all my interviews, short clips, the old interviews. A lot of good content there. I never used to write transcripts before, so there's a lot of good shit there in the chat interviews that you guys might never have heard of because never made the dirt sheets.
Hidden gems, man.
But hidden gems for sure. Make sure you go subscribe to the Dropkick Pod on Instagram. Subscribe to Dropkick Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, all some places. Follow Daniel at Daniel M8 _, I believe. I think that's right. I don't know.
Daniel M8. That's it.
There's no underscore. Man's
There's
making
no
up.
underscore.
And guys, be sure to subscribe to the Patreon and get discounts on merchandise, discount on action figures, AEW, NWB, exclusive content. You get this show in video form. You get shows early. The TJ interview's already dropped there. If you're waiting for that TJ Wilson interview, it's already on Patreon. As low as $2, you can watch it, listen to it, whatever you want. So be sure to check that out. And I think that's it. Is there anything you want to add, Daniel?
I just want to quickly say that I got a new graphic coming up for the Dropkick Podcast. I'm excited to drop that. And also, Me and Sock Monkey Mike will be interviewing Sam Laterna, and also you and I possibly will be interviewing Conrad Thompson, the Podfather. He's a man. I can't wait for that. And yeah, man, I can't wait for the fucking summer. Finally here, a lot of great things planned. But thank you as always for supporting and helping me out and having me on the show, man.
Of course. Everyone keep doing the thing. We'll see you all next time. Ooh, yeah, dig it. Evolution, baby.
Oh my God.